Welcome back everyone. If you like casual magic or you are in search for some deck inspiration for decks of all kinds, you have come to the right place. This morning I woke up at 7 AM. It was already blazing hot outside. On top of that, I haven't shaved for a week. So that's why I decided I need to build a snow deck. Okay, I admit I was just looking for an excuse to build a deck, and I built a snow deck. Apparently this deck is also modern legal. I couldn't care less. I just want to build fun and entertaining budget decks. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, feel free to do so. By doing so, you are supporting me, it helps the channel grow a little bit, and of course it helps me to spread the love for casual magic. Oh yeah, and if you're lucky you might win a voucher of 10 euros from our good friends of Card Market. Okay, I'm just going to change the camera a little bit, like this, so we have some more room for cards to appear here. Enough with the intro, let's head into the deck. We play 3 colors. I also found some similar decks online who play 2 colors. They play blue and green. But I also wanted to include some good removal. And there is of course this new card of Modern Horizons, which is insanely broken. I must include it in my deck. It's called Dead of Winter. More about this card later. As always, let's start with the land base. Here we go. We play 23 snowlands, 10 snow-covered forests, 5 snow-covered islands, 4 snow-covered swamps, 2 frost march and 2 frostwalk bastion. I also play 3 Arkham's Astrolabs. This card helps me fix my mana, and it also adds to the snow permanent count, which is important for my 2 win conditions. One of these win conditions is an enchantment called Marit Lage Slumber. This enchantment helps to set up your draws, as it scries whenever a snow permanent enters the battlefield, including itself. But it does something else. Something bigger. Something that needs a better introduction than this. Something that needs a more dramatic introduction. Okay, that'll do. At the beginning of your turn, when you control 10 snow permanents, you can sacrifice this enchantment and then you create Marit Lage. The biggest, baddest, meanest, weirdest avatar style fish thing ever printed on cardboard. Oh yeah, it's a 2020 flying indestructible as well. And for those who wonder, if I considered playing Wrath of Marit Lage for flavor purposes, I did consider it for a very brief moment. And then I politely declined because the card is just super bad. Beside our win condition number 1, I also play 3 other enchantments called Winter's Rest. This is also a creature removal spell which adds to my snow count, which can help me create my big bad snowman on turn 6 or 7. Then I also added some other removal. I added 1 Putrefy. It's a very versatile good instant that kills a creature but also an artifact. And I also play 1 Dead Sprout, which is actually kill a creature and get a snowland, which also helps with my snow permanent count. So for 4 mana I think it's a really good card in the deck. I also included 2 negates, as this is an awesome card to protect your win conditions. Speaking of win conditions, there's another one in the deck. It's called Abominable Snowman. Well, actually it's called Abominable Tree Folk, but yeah, it's an Abominable Snowman. I decided to play 2 of them. It's a really good card in this deck. It's often a 4/4 if you play it on turn 3 with some mana ramp, and it can get huge in this deck. Then there's also the best snow creature around, ice-fang coatl. You can also call it serpent de crème glace, I don't know, call it whatever you want. It's an awesome versatile card. You can flash it in, so you can play it as a removal spell because it has death touch. It draws you a card and it can even attack in the air. So great card for 2 mana, which of course also adds to your snow count. Another serpent de crème glace is the Oran Viper, so it's another snow snake that I play. It also adds to your snow count. You can also cut it and play another Abominable Tree Folk. But as you might have noticed while watching my decks, I like to mix it up, play some one-offs here and there, so I decided to play this Snow Snake as well. It's good, it has Death Touch, so it's a good defensive card, and after you play a Dead of Winter you can attack with it and it also draws you some cards. So a pretty good card. To finish off the creature suite, I decided to put in 3 2-offs. Let's have a look. 2 Rime-bound Deads are a skeleton thing that also is a snow creature. The idea was to build a somewhat defensive deck and I included black. And these guys are cheap, resilient and add to my snow count as well. Then there are some more mana creatures. I play 2 Boreal Druid and 2 Rime Tender. Both snow creatures that help me with my mana and my snow count. And to end this deck I also play 11 sorceries. And they are all extremely powerful in this deck. Let's have a look. Dead of Winter gives all non-snow creatures -X, where X is the amount of snow permanents you control. For this card I can only say one thing, play it and you will see how ridiculous good this one is. For only 3 mana, incredible, we are playing 4 of them. But for 3 mana, you can also draw, well, let's say 4 cards in green. Glacial Revelation is another absurdly powerful card in this deck. We play 45 snow permanents, so the chances of drawing 3-4 cards are really realistic. And if you are lucky, you can even draw 5 or even 6 cards. This happened to me already a few times. Needless to say, I need to play 4 of this card as well. I also play 2 Into the North, which is an equivalent to a Rampant Growth, but for snowlands. So I could also get my Frostwalk Bastion if I play versus a control deck, or I can get a Frost March to help me with my mana fixing. And last but not least, I also want to play this card. It's a regrowth, it's an old card, and as you know I have a little bit of affinity with old school Magic, but it has recently been reprinted and it can get back a lot of great cards. It can get back your win conditions, it can get back removal spells, it can get back card draw as well with Glacial Revelation. It's such a versatile card that I wanted to include a one-off. So this was the deck. For about €8 or $10 we have built a quite surprisingly powerful deck. I've tested a few times and it works quite well. So let's have a quick look to the power rankings. For power I gave it an 8.5, especially because Dead of Winter and Glacial Revelation are such powerful cards, but also our win conditions are completely insane. 2020 flying is nothing to sneeze about. Complexity, I think the deck plays pretty simple, so I only gave it a 4. It's a pretty easy deck. If you're a starting player, I really would advise you to try it out. For consistency, I gave it a 7. Offense, I give it a 7 as well, and I think defense wise it's even a bit more stronger, so I gave it an 8, especially thanks to Dead of Winter. Now, how does the deck do against other decks? Let's have a look at our metagame review. Against aggro decks, I think there's plenty of removal and small creatures that can clog the board, so I gave it an 8 against aggro. About similar against mid-range as well. It has some card draw, some removal, so it's great against mid-range as well. And your creatures are getting very big in the end, so it can come over the top. Against control, I gave it 7 because I added some card draw and there are 2 negates, which if you play your deck right and you protect your win conditions with negates, it could work. It also has some snow man lands, so some snow creature lands, which are very difficult to remove for a lot of control decks. Against combo decks, I also gave it a 7. So to finish off, I want to include some cards you can include in this deck, or maybe you want to build a snow commander deck and you want some inspiration. So let's head into the maybe board. Scrying Sheets, it's a great land for the snow deck. It has become a bit expensive in price and I really wanted to make a budget deck, so that's why I didn't include it in my deck. There's also Mouth of Ronom, which is a snow land that you can also use to kill a creature, which is quite useful. So definitely you can add one of those in your deck as well, if you want to spice up the land base a bit. Artifact wise, there's Cold Steel Heart, which is a mana fixer, which is also a snow permanent, but I decided I rather have some buddies as mana fixers, so that's why I decided not to play it. There's also the Phyrexian Ironfoot, which is a 3/4 for 3 mana. A great defensive creature as well. You can untap it by playing a snow mana, but you'll have plenty, so that's not really a problem. So you could definitely include one of 2 of those as well. Another alternative win condition is the Rime Feather Owl. It's a flying Abominable Snowman, but far more expensive in mana cost. It has the ability to create snow permanents that will be mainly snow permanents of your opponent's creatures or permanents, but it's quite mana intensive. On the other hand, you can play it as an alternative Marit Lage because it will get extremely big if you use the ability on your opponent's permanents. So you'll get a Marit Lage looking more like an owl. So this was it. This was my snow deck for you guys. I hope you enjoy it. Feel free to leave a comment below if you want to add suggestions for the deck. Or maybe if you want to give me a suggestion on which deck you want to see next. I will try to answer all the questions in the comments as well. Oh yeah, there's one more thing I was talking about early in the video. Our good friends at Card Market here, they decided to help out a little bit, give me a little tiny sponsorship in the video, and I will give that sponsorship directly to you. The only thing you have to do is subscribe to my channel and put a comment on either which video, and when I reach my first 100 subscribers, I will do a draw and give away some vouchers. Well, pretty simple. Okay, I was thinking to exit this video with like a bang and do like a snow rap video like Informer. I don't know if you know the rap song from the 90s. So I was thinking, should I wear like this Jamaican hat and everything and really practice my rap skills? I don't have any rap skills, I don't have a Jamaican hat, so we'll just leave it at this and save the embarrassment. See you next time and enjoy playing the snow deck. Bye!